The year 2020 was not a year of international travels, but thankfully I got the opportunity to explore my home country Switzerland a lot more. There were plenty of amazing places that I went to, some of them for the first time, and that's why I'm proud to present you the top 10 places in Switzerland that I've visited in the year 2020. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Demographic and Happy New Year 2021! To those who are new to my channel, my name is Jemo. I'm a Swiss traveler, always posting videos about Switzerland and Southeast Asia. If you like this kind of content, then you're definitely right in this channel here and you're most welcome to subscribe. Alright, and now let's get started with number 10, the beautiful region called Oberengadin. We're now diving into a world-famous region of Switzerland, into the Oberengadin. Here lays St. Moritz, a destination that is much admired by the high society. What fascinated me most in here are the 4 lakes that lay in one row, of which each has its own unique appearance. On my visit, the lake of St. Moritz was very clear and showed perfect reflections during the early morning. Also great was the Jumpfedersee, which is often overlooked, but surely makes a great motif for photography. Heading further south, I arrived at the Silvaplanersee, which I consider the prettiest lake due to its unique turquoise color. It is also a very hot destination for windsurfers. Some of the best sportsmen come here for training or competition. And yes, I was really lucky to actually watch one of the competitions. It was really impressive. The last lake, the Silsersee, that's my very favorite. Its ultramarine color is what really fascinated me, but what I like the most is this mini peninsula, which is one of my secret spots. There were barely any people and I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. Number 9 is a valley with a very unique culture, and this is the mystical Shechental. Finally, last year I managed to visit Switzerland's most mystical valley, the home of the scary Shechental, and apparently also the place to watch fantastic sunsets. Myself, I came here twice with my friends during February to watch the unique tradition called Shechental, a ritual of chasing away the evil winter spirits. I do have to say, this was really one of my very highlights. It was scary and at the same time fun and fascinating to watch. The Shechental are quite funny. Sometimes they will come to chase you, and yet they can also be very friendly. They always are on for some jokes. Just remember, the more you show them how much you're afraid, the more they will enjoy chasing you. What was also really great was my visit to one of the carpenting shops where they produce masks. The owner was really friendly and explained me the making of the masks in detail, and he even allowed me to wear one of the costumes. Apparently, the Shechental is also great to come for watching sunsets. Following the advice of some acquaintances, my friends and me, we went up to the Lauchenalp. Up there, we witnessed one of the very best sunsets we have ever seen in Switzerland. Number 8 is another valley that is very interesting, and this is the beautiful Cemental. The Cemental was the greenest and rawest valley that I have visited in Switzerland. This area in the Berner Oberland is what I consider one of the most underrated regions in this country. I came here to get some impressions of the unique traditional houses that for some reason reminded me of Western Sumatra. Besides the beautiful wooden houses, I also went to visit some of Switzerland's most beautiful waterfalls, the magnificent Ifig Fall, and then this one. Wow! This was incredible. The Siebenbrunnen with its branched look. This was really the best waterfall that I've visited this year. And furthermore, with the many kettles around, well, I think this region couldn't be more stereotypically Swiss. If you enjoyed watching this video so far, then I would really appreciate if you could press the like button. With that, you give me a lot of support. And also, if you're new to this channel, then you're most welcome to subscribe. Alright, number 7 is a place that I'm very sure most of you have never heard of before. It's what I consider being Switzerland's most underrated valley, and this is the magical Val d'Hérens. Finally, I made my way to the forgotten valley of Switzerland. Well, actually twice, because it was so amazing. This is the place where barely any foreigner would go. Well, probably less because of its name, the Valley of the Devil, but rather because nobody knows about it. Upon arriving there, I realized that this valley is full of surprises. At the entry to the Val d'Hérens, I crossed this tunnel, which I call Switzerland's natural Disney castle. These are the pyramids of Uzenia. After that, I went further up to Evolène, a beautiful traditional village with wooden houses and facades that really reminded me of the houses of the canton of Graubünden. I felt this village was very relaxing and really deserves more attention. Just above Evolène lays La Sage, a location with a fascinating view down to the valley. With this steep drop, this place really looks dramatic, and yet I found it very impressive. Now the very best lays actually at the very top of the valley in Arolla, the home to one of Switzerland's most beautiful lakes, the Lac Bleu. This was probably my very highlight of my Golden Autumn trips. It was really an unforgettable day with perfect weather. Number 6 is also located in the French-speaking part of Switzerland around Lake Geneva, and these are the beautiful wine terraces called Lavo. After a democratic referendum in the year 1977, this region was put under protection. And then in 2007, the Lavo were granted UNESCO World Heritage status. The entire region stretches over a few tens of kilometers along the northern coast of Lake Geneva. In here lay the beautiful villages of Épès, Rivas and Saint-Saphorin. Personally, I liked Épès the most, likely because it's fully embedded into the vineyards. Also really enjoyed hiking among the vineyards, although I think I should have considered going for longer walks. I personally really liked this lookout with the steep drop, which makes such a great hotspot for photography. And then there is also this amazing road on the edge leading you down to Rivas. I think the entire region is just perfect for road trips. After my visits to the villages, I ended up my trip with Château Chillon, a top 10 Instagram hotspot here in Switzerland. All in all, I would say it's the best to come here during summer and autumn. With number 5 moving to the upper half of this top 10 list, it's located in central Switzerland in the canton of Uri, and this is the beautiful Shechental. The greenest, the rawest and the most fascinating valley I found was right here in the canton of Uri. I remember how I was freaking out when I saw this beautiful landscape while driving up to Unterschechen. I was like, oh wow, this is just so beautiful, and it still gets me whenever I take this road. The Shechental has lately been shown all over Instagram. For some reason though, there are barely any people who come up here. This probably has much to do with the fact that one needs to hike up to this beautiful waterfall, which might be quite of an effort for many tourists. Well, thankfully. I really fell in love with this waterfall called Stoiber. It's one of my all-time favorites, and I surely have not been up there for the last and neither for the second last time. Also, don't forget to visit the side valley named Brunital, or as I love to call it, the Lauterbrunnen minus tourists. Definitely in the Shechental, postcard Switzerland is still a reality. It's just true beauty. Number 4 is located in the Italian-speaking part of the canton of Graubünden in the Val Bregaglia, and this is the beautiful village called Solio. Before 2020 I never heard of this village, but when I saw it in a photo book I was so wowed that I felt I have to do a trip to this place. Eventually, in August, I visited this serene village and I definitely did not regret it. Upon arriving there, I got a heavenly welcome by spotting this beautiful rainbow. When I walked through the village of Solio, I noticed that it has quite a lot of similarities with the ones of the canton of Ticino. Quite a highlight was my visit to the Hotel Palazzo Salis, which is a former palace of a rich dynasty that was residing up here. The hotel was really nice, beautiful architecture, and the food here is just brilliant. Quite nice were also the gardens, and during lunch one can come here for eating. Solio is also a great place to go for hikes. It was really nice, and just after a few minutes one can actually see how unique the location of this amazing village is. We're now moving up to the podium of these top 10 places in Switzerland that I visited in the year 2020. Number 3 goes to the amazing and exciting Valle Verzasca. Myself, having roots in the Italian-speaking part of Switzerland, I go there almost every year to spend some time during spring and summer. One of my very favorite places is the Verzasca Valley, a location with the clearest waters for swimming. It's a place that I can keep going back despite Lavartezzo being crowded at times. And well, thankfully I went back this year because for the first time I've been recognized by one of my subscribers.
That is him! I just watched his video coming here and now I saw him on the bridge. That's amazing!
That's really amazing. You know, I was always hoping for a moment like this, and yeah, this guy just said, "Hey, is that you?" And I was like, yes, that's me! Also fun and thrilling is the Verzasca Dam, especially to watch the people who are real daredevils by going for a bungee jump. Really enjoyable was the serene atmosphere up in Coripo, Switzerland's smallest village where only 12 people live up to this day. And then, at the very upper end of the Verzasca Valley lays Sononio, another beautiful village that I finally visited for the first time. I really had a great day up there with my friends Nick and Julia. Really eye-catching was also the waterfall called La Froda, where barely any people were going to. After having spent a great time in this beautiful valley, I went to this grotto Osteria Paradiso, and thus I finished a perfect day with a perfect dinner. Number 2 is also located in southern Switzerland in the canton of Wallis, and this is the amazing Alm Glacier. This was a trip that started with a quite depressing morning. It was foggy everywhere and I was only a little hopeful that this trip is going to turn out well. However, suddenly the cable car penetrated a thick layer of clouds and my friend and me, we arrived in a magical landscape up on the Eckishorn surrounded by a foggy sea. This impression was really one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. It eventually happened to be a perfect sunny day with a brilliant view over Switzerland's iconic peaks. Even the Matterhorn could be seen from there. The main reason why we went up there was to see the king of the kings among all glaciers in Switzerland, the 22 kilometers long Alm Glacier. Although it was not possible to hike down to the glacier, my friend and me, we took some awesome trails around the Eckishorn to seek some great viewpoints. Everything on that day eventually happened to be perfect. A stunning view, a great hike and a perfect Swiss-style lunch. Before I'm revealing to you the number 1 place that I enjoyed the most last year here in Switzerland, here are a few top honorable mentions. Zermatt, in the Jungfrau region, the Lac Souterrain, my secret spot. By the way, the first one of you who will get to know about the name of this swimming place, he or she will get a free postcard from Gemographic. Also really enjoyable were Morcote and the salt mine of Bay. And now I'm ready to present you the number one on this top 10 list. Number one goes to the amazing and incredibly beautiful region called Alpstein. We are now heading to one of the most cultural places in all of Switzerland, the hilly Appenzellerland. I went there on two separate visits, first to watch a tradition called Alpabzug, where the farmers are returning the cows and goats from the Alps. Then I went up to the Ebenalp and the iconic guest house Escher, which is still overrun by tourists. Nevertheless, I went to have a shot of Appenzeller, a ritual that is mandatory while being there. Then, my friends and me, we hiked down to the Seealpsee to spend the sunset over there. On my second visit, I hiked all the way up to the guest house Schäflau to be at one of Switzerland's best spots to watch sunsets. Already during the late afternoon, I was able to enjoy a perfect mood, but when I arrived at the top, I was able to realize one of my dreams for this year, to enjoy a glowing sunset up here on the Alpstein. The panorama with these massive and dramatic peaks was really unforgettable. It really makes no sense how beautiful everything happens to be up there. Just the next morning I witnessed a spectacular sunrise. This trip really has been perfect and I really don't know what else I could have wished for. For sure I will be coming back and then walk this thin red line called the Heavenly Ladder up to the Sentis. Looks dangerous, I know, but thrilling enough to dare going for. So these were the top 10 places that I visited in Switzerland in the year 2020. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video, and furthermore, if I could provide you some new places that you haven't known before. Should you have enjoyed watching this video, then I would really appreciate if you could press the like button. With that, you're giving me great support. Also, maybe if you would share it to your friends, and if you're new to this channel, if you would subscribe to Gemographic. I always post videos about Switzerland and Southeast Asia. I really like to do off the mainstream travels, so definitely on my channel you will always get to see new places and you can learn a lot about the different cultures. So that's it from my side. Again, I wish you all the best for the year 2021. Stay healthy, stay safe, and we're going to see each other very soon.